Welcome to Herf Zone Live. I'm so sorry for wasn't right on time. I was kind of right on time, couple seconds late, but thank you for tuning in, everybody. This show was sponsored by StogieLives.com. If you need a awesome social media site, make sure you check out StogieLives.com. It's an awesome social media site just for cigar smokers. You can connect with people all over the world that smoke cigars. You don't have to worry about the politics of Facebook and all that. So yeah, make sure you check out stogielives.com. And if you look down in the description there on YouTube, you'll see information that I'm helping Boston Jimmy and Ace Prime Cigars promote. Um, fundraiser that they're doing. They're raising money for the people of Jalapa, Nicaragua. So make sure you check all that out in the link down below. And so, yes, today it was a crazy busy day, and the highlight of my week is this show. So, without further ado, waiting patiently in the Cigar Hustlers podcast green room, I have Mr. Reinier Lorenzo, the owner of HVC Cigars. We're gonna get started with the show and the interview. So here he is. What's going on, brother?
How you doing, Mike? How are you, buddy?
I've been good, man. It's been crazy lately, but I'm glad that we finally got you know,
Yeah.
finally
Yeah,
kicked off
because
the show.
what happened was we had to schedule and I got COVID, right?
Yep.
And I got COVID
I
for the
didn't know if
third
you wanted
time.
to publicize that, so
No, I mean, I
I
got
knew the
COVID for the
reason.
third time. So, yeah, I'm feeling good right now.
You said for the third time?
Yes, correct.
Oh wow, that's crazy. I didn't realize it was for the third time. So,
Mm,
like, was it like how did it affect you? Was it like just mild?
it was
You
really
know,
mild. Yeah. Hmm.
hmm. That's the thing about COVID. It's been affect. There's people that I've known two people who personally who have passed away from it, and you don't know how it's going to affect you. Like I had people in my family that had it that, it was very mild. So it's craziness.
Hmm.
Well, and then after that, you had to wait till the first week of February because of TPE. So tell us about how TPE was for you. You're just getting off the cusp of TPE. So tell us about your experience this year with that and how it was for you.
It was good. It's been really excited about it because for us, it's been the third year we've been at the TPE.
Hmm.
And every year I can see the show is growing more in the premium cigar size. So I can see more retailers getting down there. Actually, manufacturers as well. I think this year was most attended manufacturer for the show for the past 2 years. So we released a new cigar there, the La Rosa 520, rare,
Hmm.
that's made exclusively at Titan de Bronze Factory in Miami. So it was a completely hit. We were completely sold out the first day, and it was a great show. I mean, for us, it's like always. I like to go to this big show and see people and chat with them. Because I mean, it's impossible for us to be all around the country at the same time, right? So for us, it's a big opportunity to meet with the retailers and chat a little bit and talk about the product there.
Oh yeah, most definitely. So you released something new there and everything. Like, um, do you know about how many other companies were there with you guys? Like, I know Drew Estate was there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know really the number size the company, but it was. I can see way more company than the last year and the year before. Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's really good for the show.
yeah, definitely. And how were the parties and everything? Did you do a lot of partying
Actually,
out
the
there?
party was really good. I mean, the main party that was, I think that was Wednesday. Actually, it was a little chilly there. It was at the pool. It was really cold in Vegas. I mean, for us, it's cold. It wasn't like I seen like 40, say almost 50. We're a little windy.
Yeah,
It was fun. It was fun.
yeah, that's what's up, man. So we're gonna just get into this here. So I'm a little scatterbrained, but I'm gonna pull up my notes here. So um, t- so for those who don't know who you are, I take people through just through the, kind of like a timeline of people's life. I do my research and all that. We get into everything. So, you're originally from Cuba. What was it like growing up in Cuba? And, And we'll keep building on each question. So just try to stick with the answer, because everything builds upon each other.
I mean, like we were like when you asked that question, like how it was for me growing in Cuba. For me, it was fun. I left Cuba when I was 23 years old, but at the same time, you don't know nothing, right? Because I was stuck in the country for 23 years, right? In 2009, that was when they changed the law that people can travel inside the Cuba. So as a Cuban country, like to me, it was fun. I was having a good time there. Growing really family around the guy, like went to school all my career year. Actually, I was in medical school before I left to US, and it was great. I mean, now that I'm here in America for 13 years, you say, wow, I wish I can have some things back then when I was in Cuba.
Yeah.
But it was like, yeah, it was great. I can't complain about it.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you said you were into sport. You said you were into sports, right?
No, I was in medical school.
No. Oh, okay. So yeah. So tell us, tell us about medical school. I think I've saw in other videos you didn't. I don't think you didn't finish. But was your original plan to become a doctor? And what was that experience with medical school like?
I went only 1 year there. So because I was in the army first for 2 years, and it was mandatory to go to the army. And through the army, I applied for medical school and I got in. So, and I was there only a year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
it was
like,
not really like, like 4 year, 5th year.
yeah, yeah.
Because
So
in
doing
Cuba,
it for a year, you're just basically to the very beginning stages, right?
exactly, yeah, like, I mean, but in Cuba it's different. In Cuba, like, if you pass, I think the 3rd year, you got to finish at least to get out of the country. They
Mm,
don't allow you to go out of the country. I think if you are at least a 3rd year, that I think so. So
interesting.
since I just left the 1st year,
Okay. So you did medical school for a year, and you eventually come to the U.S. And from the other interviews that I gathered, you went straight to Wisconsin. So we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about what you were doing there, but you know, that's not very common. A Cuban,
and
you know,
Wisconsin, not at all.
not at all. So like, I mean, and I remember seeing on other interviews as I was researching, you didn't speak English at the time. Like, what was it like?
Yeah,
Like,
it was.
is there even a Hispanic population in certain parts of Wisconsin? Like, or are you just the odd man now? Like, tell us about that. It's crazy.
I mean, like in the beginning, it was like quite rough. Like you say, I was not speaking English at all. And I mean, at some point, I said, "Well, I came here to work, and like, I got to figure out things, right?" Like, but the hard part for me was really cold. I remember I got there in December in 2008, and actually it was my first time saw snow, and I was like, "Wow!" It's in the beginning, it's fun, but month after month, you say, "Wow, this is not what I was expecting." It was really cold, but at the same time, for me, it was probably the best experience I got when I got here to US. Was like, if you told me to do things again, I would not change anything. So yeah, since guy went to Wisconsin, I have a really good friends out there. There we are almost like family, and like it's been great. Yeah,
Mm,
it was unbelievable. Actually, one my first account when I started the business was there in Wisconsin. I started the business in 2011, and I was in my time off on my full time job. I was traveling in the area to see if I can open some accounts there. It was like crazy because I remember in the beginning I was with my cigars. They would call it like HVC First Selection,
hmm
and people were like, Lorenzo, I really like your cigars, but I don't have any idea what are you talking about. I was like, I
Yeah,
don't know what you're really talking about. You speak so fast. You got to slow down.
yeah.
I mean, things like that, like try to figure out things, right?
Uh huh. Oh, definitely. I'm this like I'm from Florida. I grew up here all my life. I've grown up around all different types of cultures. So I mean, I'm used to whatever thick accents. My stepdaddy's from Colombia. He has, it's not super thick. It's not like Colombian, Cuban's very different accents, but I'm used to listening to people with accents. So, I don't care if you're talking slow, talking fast. So,
So because and why chairless, Mike? Why chairless?
well, as you saw when you came to the shop that I work at, so I'm pretty well known in the cigar world for being shirtless. So I live in Florida, and obviously, I know you do too. It's not hot right now. It's a little cool, so I'm out here in the garage. But normally I'm smoking a cigar in the garage because it's hot. And I wasn't trying to get known, but I post pictures and people started saying, "Hey, it's shirtless Mike," and so I just started running with it, and then it kind of just progressed from there. I used to write for Stogie Press with Boston Jimmy,
Oh, with
and
Boston Jimmy.
yeah, that's how I got
Okay,
known. That's how I
I
got known,
I saw him
and
in Vegas.
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
awesome guy. Lives like 10 minutes up the road from me, so that's how I became the shirtless Mike. So
Okay.
and then now everybody and their mom knows who I am. So and even if somebody doesn't, I'm meeting people, and it was definitely an honor meeting you, and I'm glad you were able to come on the show. So,
And now we have a party together. I think something for a smoking, right?
oh yeah, I'm
You're
doing
doing
my
something
birthday.
up there.
Yeah, I'm doing my birthday bash. That's gonna be the very first party of the Great Smoke on the
Mm,
23rd of February. So,
that's gonna be fun.
oh yeah, I'm excited. I definitely grinded real hard and build up my name. So, I get to kick off the entire Great Smoke with my party. So, but yeah, so while you were in Wisconsin, you were working for an animal genetics company. How did you get into that line of work?
Because like before medical school and before I went to the army in Cuba, I got a background veterinarian in Cuba. And my
Mm,
college, I went for veterinarian for almost 4 years. So I get a background in that. And when I left Cuba, my family had me out to get this job there in Wisconsin. And I say, let's do it. Let's go out there. I was working in a genetics company. They separate X and Y's. So in the lab there for animals there.
yeah.
It was really interesting. Yeah. It teach me a
So,
lot of things how like actually it's quite like can add some things to tobacco to that and the investigation process.
mm,
Hmm.
so like, what did you have to investigate?
I mean, like usually, like even the leaf when you look themselves, you can go in microscope
Hmm.
and see how things are in the leaf inside on it, and that can teach you something. I haven't done so much with that with the leaf, but later on probably I'm going to start doing something like that. I know Cuba is big on that.
Mm,
Cuba they do a lot of big things with that.
definitely. That's interesting. That doing that can kind of mirror and learn stuff that can apply to the tobacco. So, after doing that, like, how did you get into cigars? Just before the business, just getting into cigars as smoking. Was it kind of like a head first, you dived in head first type of thing, or did it take a little bit of time?
No, by that time my family was working for Aganosa Leaf there here in Miami, and that's really me how I to get in the business. In 2009, the owner of Aganosa, Eduardo, invited me to go to Nicaragua, and when he showed me all the process and all that, I fell in love with. Yeah, because I mean in Havana, I never was really into in tobacco.
Hmm. So so your family working for Aganorsa kind of led you into smoking cigars. Now we're not talking getting into the business just yet. So um, let me see where I'm trying to go with this. So it basically was like a right away thing once you started smoking for fun, for pleasure.
Yeah, it wasn't like the thing like you want to try it, right? That's the first thing like you saw somebody and you say. Actually, that was quite weird because back there, my family in Cuba and Camagüey is my family. They are farmers, but in Camagüey region, it's not a tobacco region. It's
Mm,
a cow. It's
yeah.
like, it's like Texas, like here, right? And you see a lot of people in the farmers smoking the cheapest tobacco they buy in the bodegas that you could for like $1. Back then, you get a 25 bando cigars, and you can see all them smoking there in the farm, working on the farm and smoking those cigars. And like sometimes you give a couple drops, but I was like not really pay attention to that. It's like I mean, I was like probably talking about at least 16, 15, 17, but Not really at all. It wasn't. Well, it was not my thing, right?
Yeah.
When I left Cuba in 23, and 23, that's when I was really started smoking cigars.
Awesome. And so yeah, so after getting into the cigars and everything, and what kind of inspired you to kind of, I know your family was at Aganorsa Leaf. Was that the very first factory that you was working with?
Yes, correct. Hmm.
And that's the only factory you're working with still, right? Or you have a couple different factories, or
It was a Ganosa, and then I was making some product at Raíces Cubanas factory. They got a lot of amount of Ganosa tobacco back then, and I was making my Vieja Cosecha number 2 back then at the same Pan Caliente too as well. And almost 3 years ago, we moved all the production from Honduras to Nicaragua as well. And
okay,
99.9% of my production is made at La Ganosa Leaf factory there. And that's why we call it the new product de la Rosa Rare here and make it in Miami.
okay. And so with HVC Cigars, you're from, it's Havana City. That's what HVC stands for. So describe, like, what's the concept behind that? Um, just like
I
the
mean, like,
naming and everything.
it's in the beginning, I was like, whoa, a lot of cigar company got the name of the owner and the name of the
Yeah,
company. Myself, I say, well, like, why not HVC? And my phone, well, what do you mean HVC? I said, well, Havana City, right? Like, that's the city I came from. That's the city I love. So it's always with me. That's the city I grew up there. And when you talk about tobacco, you don't talk about Havana, probably you don't have any idea what you're talking about.
yeah,
Because, I mean, Cuban cigar is like, to me, in my opinion, when they are right, they got a unique flavor that you cannot compare out there.
yeah.
And that's because the soil they have. So
Hmm.
to me in HVC, I want to create something like that, but at the same time, looking to the future, you want to create something like I always say, like a unique flavor, like that, like because when you think in flavor, you want to give to the consumer something unique, something different,
Hmm.
something they share that I made something quite unique. That's when I come into the HVC.
Okay. And how many different? I mean, I'm familiar with quite a few. Like your Black Friday and the
Yeah, but the Black Friday is a completely crazy project that we do every year because it's like every year is completely different things what the previous year. So if you don't get it this year, what
yeah,
is retailers, you will not get it again because we never replicate those blends.
yeah,
So
definitely.
that's
But how many different blends though are in your portfolio, like total? Because
I mean
you got so much. It's so hard for me to sit out here and
it's
listen
like
to you.
like regular line we have 10 lines in our portfolio just
Okay.
for regular lines. Yeah.
Okay. Now to like say you're at a shop and you're talking to people and they're like what's the first cigar like the go-to in your lineup of cigars in your portfolio that you would recommend to somebody to like be that first introduction to HVC?
I mean that's really a question when somebody asks me that. Like I would like to say, like, the first I would like to say, well, what do you like to smoke? To me, that would be the right question to ask to the consumer because it doesn't make sense for me. It is that person has a really full body cigar to give you a medium body cigar. As
Yeah.
usually, actually today I was hanging out with some friends and I told the guy, hey, well, what do you usually use? And the guy was saying, I am all about full body cigars. If you want to give me a cigar, give me something heavy, something that really punch me. So even then, I remember give the guy a HVC broadleaf. Because
Yeah.
I mean, the way I build my palette, Mike, is like on my palette bill, I don't have anything really mild in my portfolio. And I
Hmm.
always say this: I think I don't have anything really full body cigar.
Yeah,
So
like the
most of
one
the
I
ones
had, like the one I had when you came to my shop. The what was it? It was the
that,
The most mild one you had, you know, 'cause the
the
first
pan
cigars.
caliente,
Yeah, Pataliente.
the pan caliente, and I remember
Yeah,
I give you some HVC
yes,
500s. Actually,
that
that's the one
cigar
I'm
was
smoking right
good.
now.
Yeah, that cigar was awesome, and you know, that's, I mean, you know, just for that was awesome. And even though I've been introduced to HVC, but you know, it was my first cigar of the day, and I was, you know, looking at, you know, not come too heavy, and I don't want my palate to get punched right away, you know, and so that's
I
awesome.
mean, you
So
see a lot. You see, it's a lot of people in this business. They wake up, they got a cigar, they got a coffee, and they are ready to go. I wish I could do that. I have
yeah,
to wake up, I have to eat big breakfast, and then I can smoke like
yeah,
6, 7, 8 cigars a day. We are a problem. But
yeah,
if I do that with my stomach empty, my day will be completely like,
yeah. Yeah, I got to eat something too first thing, and you know, I open up the shop 3 days a week, so I got my coffee, I got my cigar, you know, after I eat some breakfast to get everything open, and boom, ready to go for the day. So
that. Yeah, that's always like, I remember a old guy told me that, like, that was like 2016 and one of my trips back to Cuba. I was down in Pinar del Rio, and the guy told me, like, always when you want to smoke too many cigars, you should have some food in your stomach. Yeah.
yep,
And that to me, I try to follow that.
yep.
So
I mean, there's some times where I can, you know, I may not feel like eating first thing or whatever, and I'll still smoke a cigar, but it's not going to be anything crazy. Like, I'm at the point, you know, I've been smoking cigars for 14 years, so I'm at the point now where, you know, if I'm not super hungry first thing, I won't worry about it. And but after I'm done smoking the cigar, having some coffee, then yeah, I'll be ready to eat after that. So you just have to feel your body type thing. So about how many cigars do you tend to smoke a day?
not really depending the mood, but easily. I mean, last week in Vegas, I was smoking 8, 9 cigars a day easily.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that depends really. I mean, like even me, I'm not a really a big ring gauge guy.
Yeah, me
Like
neither.
I like go more with the Toros, Robusto, Corona Gordas. So that really and usually there are some days like I don't like to smoke
Yeah.
to keep my palate like quite clean,
Yep.
like at least a day. I try to do that, but it's sometimes quite hard to do it
Yeah.
because you feel you Sunday, Saturday you having a drink and you say, well, let me
Yep.
have a cigar, right? Just let me have one or two
Yep.
and you do
I,
that.
I'm the same way. I tend to sometimes like on a Sunday I'll just be super lazy. I'll still smoke, you know, but I'll smoke a lot less. I'll just, you know, I'll wait till the nighttime when I'm just, you know, when I'm wired after taking a nap and all that, and just have a couple. And you know, because I'm at the shop all day. I smoke a lot, you know, except if I'm like putting away orders, which large orders, you know, I can't really do that, you know, enjoy it like that. So I wait till after, and I could be like, I could breathe. So so yeah, definitely. Now, throughout, you know, your blending process, you know, you're at the factory, like you're very involved at every level, right? You're not just, you know, signing off. Like you're actually working on the blend yourself, or do you have a lot of help
I mean,
with blending?
I have been really fortunate in my 11 years in the business to be around with a lot of people with a lot of knowledge in tobacco. And always, I say this, I am quite a learning machine. Always I'm learning from them, right? To see them how they blend, to see them how they smell the tobacco. And for me, that's a really important thing in the business. Like, I want to know why, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if we are smoking this, is smoking that, well, let me smoke. Let me see what it tastes.
Yeah.
The individual components of the leaf, like actually, like for the last 10 years, I was working exclusively with Nicaraguan tobacco, specifically Aganosa, and now the things that we do at Titan de Bronze, for us, at the first time we doing something with Dominican tobacco. I was there at Titan de Bronze, and I was smoking some secos from Huertabajo and Criollo 98, and I was quite impressed. I was quite impressed when I smoked these secos And I said, wow, I wanted this in the blend. And and always I told people like you gotta be up there and try it. Don't be afraid to try it. You gotta try it and smoke it. That's
Yeah.
the only way you can figure it out. Right?
Hmm.
You can smell it. You can probably some people have a lot of I don't know how they say the word in English, like to say, wow, this is not really gay or this is something, but to me you gotta smoke it.
Yeah.
That's always you gotta smoke it to see really feel how the tobacco satisfies your palate.
Yeah.
Because like to me it's food.
Yep.
Like when
So
you
it's
eat
like
it,
being a chef.
exactly. So when you eat something, if you don't like it, well, why you don't like it? Maybe because it's bitter, or maybe because it's like I don't know, like harsh in your mouth. But tobacco to me is the same thing. When you smoking, you start feeling things in your tongue. Even you smell and you say, "Wow, I like what I see. I like what I'm tasting right now." So that's why to me it's really important, really, to be involved in every process of the blend.
Yeah, definitely. Now, what was my next thing here? So, you're very involved in the in the blending and everything. But what's your favorite like rapper? To work with. Like when you're blending a cigar. Like, are there any rappers to you that are easier to work with than others, or even binder and filler? Like, I mean, it's all subjective, but which one? Like, what's your favorite? And are there any ones that are easier to work with in your opinion?
I mean, like that really depends. Like, I mean, I like Corojo a lot. I like Broadleaf a lot. Even San Andres Maduro, I really like it. Probably the hardest one to work with me would be Habano wrapper.
Habano.
Habano, yeah. Because sometimes to me, Habano have a flavor that you gotta be really careful, like no overpower what you have in the filler and the binder, right? Because
Mm.
I need balance in my cigars, right? So yeah,
Hmm.
always I say this: when I look for a cigar, I look for flavor, balance, construction, and clean finish. So the clean finish is really important to me. Why? Because it's like when you puff in and you puff out, I don't want to have any like I don't know if the right way to say to a bad taste in my mouth. So
Yeah.
that's why I say, and sometimes Habano to me, I know it's really popular there. It gotta be like the fermentation process gotta be right.
Yeah.
When you combine with other tobacco, that's like I remember when I was blending, when we were blending the San Isidro line with Senior Ramo, he used to be the master blender for an Salif. I was really back and forth with him. Like I say, I know, I still feeling something is not right in this blend. So that was probably one of my hardest blend to do with that. The San Isidro line, that's the thing that we do. The only thing we do but express with Habano wrapper, Habano cafe.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so it seems like the rappers that you like to work with are, like the real hardy rappers. They're not super delicate per se, and then but it's cool that at least you can recognize that difference, the harder versus the one that are easier to work with. Um,
because I mean, like remember this: everything is important a cigar when you make a cigar. The filler, the binder, the wrapper bring a lot of
mhm,
flavor to the cigar, right? It's
mhm,
like you can have the best filler or the best binder if your wrapper does not complement well with this type of what you put it on it, it doesn't make sense, right? So
yep,
it's like everything has to be right to make a good blend.
mhm,
So even the region, the region is really important, right?
yep,
So you got Nicaragua, you got Dominican, you got Honduras. So when you work and you combine everything with this for a cigar, you can feel the difference. And you put it back and forth when you're blending and you say, wow, that's things I have been learning every day. Yeah. And
absolutely.
always to me, it's a learning experience. Every time I go down there and you never stop learning.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I mean, there is something like really like, I mean, it's tobacco, right? It's a plant that grow, but there's something that you cannot control, Mike.
yeah,
Too sunny, or as a dry season, the tobacco can change the flavor. Even in every year you do the same seed, right? Same farm, same seed. That's when it comes to the table that you have to adjust the blends to get the flavor that you was looking for, right?
Yeah.
Because the easy way for me to put it out is like maybe the pepper is not the same as last year, right? Or maybe the tomato that was too sweet last year, it wasn't. So you have to adjust to put a little more of this, a little more of that to get that in the cigar. So
Absolutely.
to get the
Yeah.
final product, that's, I mean, you want to be consistent year after year, year after year.
Oh
So
yeah.
compare with people the same flavor, right?
Yep. Absolutely. And that's the thing. Like consistency is key, and even sometimes there'll be like a little bit of variation, but it's it's the because it's an agricultural product, but if it's like doing a science experiment. You got the same variables, the same controls, all that, and to make the process, it's like you're a mad scientist throughout the whole process. So
What is your point to see the things from a retailer standpoint?
what's that?
What do you see? How you view from the retailer standpoint? How do you see that? I mean, because if of how you see you have a lot of cigars in the shop, and how you see the process when you want to pick what you want to smoke, what driving you, like you say, well, I want to go to Nicaragua, I want to go to Honduras, I want to go to Dominican, like
Yeah, it's more so. I mean, I love Nicaraguan tobacco the most. I like the Dominican tobacco as well. It just depends on how it's put together and blended. But it's definitely would be great to go to Nicaragua one day and just see the entire process. Because I watch a lot of stuff, got the knowledge, but to actually see, I spent some time. Like I went to the FSG farm, and saw the tobacco out there and walk through the tobacco fields and everything, but it's like it's not a complete like factory. They're just growing the tobacco. They send it to Nicaragua to be, everything's done at Drew Estate and everything. So um I definitely would like to get over there one day. So
you should learn a lot. I told every time I'm doing a show or event, I told people like if you got the opportunity at least one day to go down there, I mean whatever of these three countries, you
oh
learn.
yeah.
It's amazing experience.
Oh yeah, most definitely. That'll definitely happen one day for sure. So Um, I've asked some other brand owners this, and a lot of times they don't like, they like to be like, you know, they'll basically use the cop out, like, oh, I only smoke my brand. But outside of your own brand, what are some, cigar brands that you really, enjoy, in your personal smoking time when, during that rare moment that you do? Um, or are there any brands out there that you've been kind of like watching that, or do you just
I
kind
mean,
of stick with
really,
like
like I like to smoke a lot
tried
of
and true?
Cubans. I like to
Uh-huh.
smoke a lot of Cubans when I'm not smoking my cigars. Like because like I say to me, Cuban have a flavor profile like it's really hard to get it out there. And always to me like try to smoke those to see how I can quite like came out with something different. But I mean like you're talking about families in the cigar, you're talking about the Padron family, you're talking about the Fuentes family, you're talking about the Olivacins, like and many companies out there making great cigars.
Mm,
So always I told people like you have to smoke what you really like.
yeah,
It's a thing like that, right? Don't like you smoke this, smoke that, but always smoke what you like.
absolutely.
Yes. And for us, like we have the opportunity to create something to smoke myself. We do that.
Yep, absolutely. Now, just since you've been in the cigar industry for 11 years with HVC and everything, you've really hit the ground running. You're at the point now where a lot of people know who you are. You know, you're you're a great boutique brand that you really take your time with everything. Are you spread out across the country, or are you still like kind of making your way across the country as far as the amount of retailers that your cigars are carried at?
We are still a small, really a small cigar company out there. So we have brokers
Yep.
in almost every state. And for us, it's really important to grow to get the word out there to expand more. But in the cigar world, we are still a just tiny cigar company out there.
Hmm. Do you have an idea, like a number off the top of your head, like how many shops that you carried at, or
Probably we are around 600 shops.
that's good. That's good for a small brand. That means you've been grinding.
I mean, I remember, like I said, when I started my business, I started the business just driving around in my car and down there in Midwest, door by door, and I still do that, right? So
Yeah.
next week I will be in California with a rep out there, the California guy, and just driving around and see the shops out there.
Yeah.
This is it's a really personal business. You know, people want to meet you. People want to know why HVC, right? Why is behind HVC. So and
Hmm.
that's to me it's important to drive that to the consumer to share my experience with them about our brand.
Definitely. So you still do a lot of traveling with your brokers and everything. Is that like a monthly thing? To where just you fly out there and then you just hit the road with them and all that, or how does that
Yeah,
kind of like work out for you?
yeah, it's like you say, you go out there, you're traveling out there with there. Like I like to try to be like a week in Miami, a week out there. So I'm not a guy. 2 weeks in the row is quite tough, but I like to do that.
Yeah. Now, if you don't mind me asking, because I do know a few brokers, of course I know Groover, he's a good friend of mine that, here in Florida and all that. And, who's your favorite, like, who's been like your top couple, brokers to travel with, like that you just have the best time with, that I'm sure, all of them, you got that relationship and you guys vibe well, but like, who have you had the most fun with as far as, just traveling around with them?
I mean, like that would be a difficult question because I mean, as a Cuban guy, always traveling with these guys out there, to me, it's always fun. It's
Hmm.
hard for me to pick a guy out there because I always have a great time with them. Always,
Yeah.
yeah, that would be hard for me. Like because that's the same thing. Like, hey, we're going to work, right? But at
Hmm.
night, maybe we end in a cigar shop. They have a bar. They have a couple of drinks. They relax. Let's enjoy. They have a good time. That's the word like that with me. So I always to me it's really hard for me to pick a guy and say, hey, I like to travel with most with this guy, or because it doesn't make sense to me. Like, yeah, we have a rep that I don't
Yeah.
like to travel with them. At least I know I'm not hiring. I'm not hiring. Like, doesn't make sense to have him as a rep.
Yeah, definitely. Now, have you have you encountered any cigar shops that are just like that really wowed you, being out there on the road? I imagine, you got, your average cigar shop, and then you walk into some that's like, wow, they're really just, they really like took it up a notch and they're doing really well. Like, has any particular shop ever wowed you?
Like, I remember in the beginning for me was really tough. Like, getting out there and trying to sell my cigars and people you say no.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people say no to me. Like, hey,
Yeah.
no, because people don't know the brand, people don't know me. And actually, like multiple times,
Yeah.
hey, no, thank you, no, thank you. And at some point, I say, like, you never get up, right? You never get up. You
Yep.
get out there and you still do your sins. And, oh, yeah, come in. Yeah, let's give a shot. And
Yep.
because the most important thing is, like, you got to let them try your cigars. Let the
Yep.
consumer to try the experience, have the experience. That's the best way I can recommend the cigar. Because I mean, I can talk about you or the consumers like, hey, here, there, like no, in the end of the day, smoke it and let me
Yep.
know what you think about it. Right?
Yep. What makes the most impact is multiple people constantly bugging, the people at the shop about the cigar. That's what I try to tell people, because, at my shop, we have limited amount of space. Like, you've been inside our humidor, you see
Mm-hmm.
we're like chock full up in there. So like HVC is a brand that I would definitely fight for, like for the future. I'll be like, hey, Hefe, like you need to, this is, hopefully that can happen one day, but like, it's all about the consumer, like to make things kind of happen a little faster. Like,
Exactly.
um,
Yeah, it is like that.
And
So
this
you
was
have to see.
before I got in the business myself. I'm only 6 months in full time in the cigar industry, working at a shop. So I've known this since way before because I've just always been like real close to people and, got the inside scoop. I've never been an average consumer.
No, and it's like, well, it's like as a business, patient is really important in this, right?
Yep.
You gotta be patient. I always think in long term business.
Hmm.
That's the important thing I have in my head. Like just think in long term business. So
Yeah. Yeah. Because you don't want to, the thing that makes a brand at a shop do well is the reorders. If they're reordering every month, they're doing
exactly, yeah.
good. They're doing good. You don't want like, the one and done. You don't want the one and done type things. You end up in the discount bin and stuff like that. Like,
Mhm.
it's all about, and I wholeheartedly believe this. Like, a brand should, the person selling cigars, like, sometimes you got to start off by hand selling them, but once the people get the cigar in their hand and they come back, like, there's a couple brands that I've really had to hand sell at first within the shop. And then, and it's like now that it's unfortunately some of the companies have a lot of back orders, so like we're dwindling down on it, on carrying their stuff, but it's really not their fault. It's not our fault. They just, they can't rush the process. So, um, hand selling can equal, hey, a little movement within that shop of people that smoke that particular cigar. So, but yeah. So a little bit more about being on the road. Like, what's the least favorite part about being on the road?
probably to me when it's cold out there. When I got to go to the probably Midwest or Northeast when it's really cold out there, like I try to stay away for that.
Yeah.
I don't know how I was surviving in Wisconsin for 7 years.
I mean, you're not built for that. You came from Cuba, tropical climate. You're not built for that. Like, I'm surprised you're not part Eskimo by now.
I am an animal of the sun.
Now, do you like to, hit the gym and stuff like that? Are you like one of those health nuts, or you're just like, whatever, fuck it, I'm just
No,
gonna
like
eat what I want?
yeah, I like to go to the gym probably 3 or 4 times a week. Yeah,
Okay,
really early in the morning. Go back home, got my breakfast, and come here to the office. Yeah, at least four
awesome,
times. At least 4 times. I like to do that. Yeah,
nice. Yeah, I'm definitely
but
not
don't
that
get me
way.
wrong. When I'm really hungry, I can go for a big hamburger, and I
Oh
still
yeah,
love it. Right?
yeah, you can't beat it.
Usually, when you want to smoke a lot of cigars, you can have a big, huge hamburger. That's a winner.
Oh yeah, of course. It sticks to your ribs. It makes you feel satisfied and all that. So we're about to get into some fun questions here on the show. I kind of half the interview was I had prepared questions, and half of it I'm just going with the flow. And so, but before we get into the fun questions to kind of round out the show here, um, you got the floor right now. Just about anything related to the brand, like anything that's coming up that you wanted to shout out and make people aware of. And then after that, we'll just get into the fun questions and see what you have to say about the crazy questions.
Right now, we are still working in a few projects that we want to release this year. That will be probably for the PCA, and then Black Friday is coming again too. So we're working on that.
Awesome. So just a couple little projects, nothing too crazy.
Hmm.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna get into this here. I'm just gonna ask some random questions that I have in front of me. So, who is the messiest person you know?
What is that? I don't know what is that. What is that? The
Messy,
Messi?
like somebody that's messy, like they're now messy can be a
I
couple of
know. I
things. It
got.
could
Yeah,
be
I got
somebody
it
who's
now. Yeah,
drama,
the Messi
drama
person.
fit,
Yeah. Oh wow.
or it could be somebody who's just a slob. They don't.
Oh wow. Wow, probably like that. I got a cousin in Cuba. Yeah, he's crazy. Yeah, he's crazy. He's crazy. He's one of those. He's one of those. Yeah,
All right. What's the most useless talent that you have?
I don't know that. What do you
Yeah,
think?
I don't know. I
I
don't.
don't know.
Hey, some people may not have a useless talent. There's some people out there that have useless talents, but that's good. What's the worst smelling place that you've ever been to?
Words, man. Wow. Probably, I mean, not a place, but a dead horse.
You seen a dead horse?
Yeah. I
So
remember I was in my family farm there, and the horse was there for a few days already. And we were really close. And oh my God. Yeah.
they're just laying out there in the pasture, or
Yeah,
like,
just like that in the pasture, like, yeah, like, wow. Yeah.
wow. Uh, Are you able to describe the smell, or would you just rather not?
Maybe I don't know. Probably my English is not very good looking to describe, but it was like something like, like yeah,
Yeah, because I don't want to like make you sick or nothing like that. So
uh.
yeah. All right, we'll move on from that. So, what celebrity would you rate as a perfect 10?
Wow, that's a tough one. Yeah, celebrity like perfect 10. Damn. Thinking.
There's a lot of beautiful women out there.
It is. There's
A
too
lot of
many out
celebrities.
there. Yeah, there's too many out there. Yeah, you say celebrity like you're talking about Hollywood stuff. Like
Yeah, like Hollywood star, like somebody
I,
who's just well known, celebrity.
Jesus, that's tough. That's tough. There's too many beautiful ladies out there, even in Hollywood. Yeah.
I keep leaving you speechless. It's either
But you know what? I never been that guy like I can say like, oh, this one. Like
yeah. And it doesn't have to be like American celebrity. There may be somebody
I
like,
know what you mean. But it's like, yeah, like I never been that guy.
oh, okay.
I never been,
What are the best and worst purchases that you've ever made? I know we all made some dumbass purchases in our life.
well, the other day, actually, that was Saturday. I was in a party and I made these custom Nikes for myself, right?
Hmm.
And in the end of the party, I had to give them away.
Oh wow,
Yeah, probably. Yeah, they were not comfortable at all.
interesting.
Yeah, probably they were like me, like just thinking right now, like I'm talking about Saturday. Yeah.
Wow. So what did you do? Raffle them off, or did you just say, "Here, you need some"? What size
No,
shoe you wear?
I was in a party. I was dancing. At some point, my feet started hurt so much, and I saw a guy then sitting there, like a young guy, like probably like this. And I say, hey, what size? And he say, no, nine. I say, well, take these shoes. And he look at me like, what do you mean take these? Yeah, take it. This is a custom. Probably you cannot find anyone like this. And the guy was really happy about it because I used them only 3 times, and I give it to them, and yeah, and I say, wow, never again. Yeah.
Now, do you have a best purchase that you've ever made? Like it was just like, damn, you were just so glad you bought that.
Yeah, probably. I mean, like more talking about in the business. Probably this. This is from Cuba. This is a book of Colette of more than 3,000 bands.
Oh, Cuban cigar bands.
Yeah, like really old. Like yeah, like 3,000 right here.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
probably this one. I really love this.
Did you hear about that new book? I think I was on. Is that new book, or there was one with a whole that Cigar aficionado posted about, and it was like a book of Cuban cigars, like from like I think I had some modern ones in there or whatever,
Actually, you're talking about the Impossible collection of cigars.
something like that. Yeah,
I had that one. My wife gave me that one for a gift. Actually, you're talking about probably this one here.
probably. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, yeah. The Cigar aficionado posted about that like a couple weeks back.
Yeah, super
Yeah.
expensive. My wife gave me this as a gift, and yeah, because it's a box, right? And the book says inside.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely nice for the office and everything. All right, we're gonna ask a few more questions here once you get back to the chair. Let's see here. If you had to change your name, what would be your new name and why would you choose that name?
Oof. That would be Lorenzo.
Lorenzo.
Yeah, we'll call it that because Lorenzo is my last name. My first name is Reinier. I would put it Lorenzo probably.
Nice. Yeah, because I got confused about that because
Yeah, a lot of people, yeah.
I was like, is that Lorenzo Rainier Lorenzo? I like so I just go by what the social media said. And actually, like on the original flyer, I misspelled your name. I had to change it. And then, but whenever, like, it's fine when you click on YouTube, but on the link that you see from Facebook, it's still spelled wrong. But I did change it. I had to do that yesterday because I was running behind on my show prep and all that. So, uh, but I made it happen before work, before I got busy and all that. So, a couple more things and we'll be done here. So, uh, when did you screw everything up, but no one found out that it was you?
Oh wow, that's a tough question because a lot of times screw up, right?
They all find out.
But I told people, wait, that was me. I, you know, I, I don't have problem like to be wrong and know people like I was wrong. Like I don't have problem with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair. That's fair enough. Uh, hold on. Gotta find a good one here. If you could know the absolute and total truth to one question, what question would you ask?
Probably like be yourself. Can you be yourself? Probably that can be a question.
Yeah.
Probably that would be like that. Just be yourself, right?
Yep. I know if you ask me that question if I'm being myself, I'm being myself
No,
cuz
of course, yeah.
I
Like
mean
probably
like
would be like, yeah, be yourself, right?
who else is famous for being shirtless? I mean like if that
Be
ain't being
yourself.
yourself, I don't know what is. So uh one more and then we'll get off of here cuz I keep it like around an hour-ish, so I got to make it good. If you were given a 1-minute ad slot during the Super Bowl that you couldn't sell, what would you fill it with?
Wow. Mm. Probably you're talking about commercial and the Super Bowl, right?
Yes.
A
A
minute.
one yeah, a minute ad slot. That's a long time for a
That's a
commercial.
long time for a commercial.
Mighty expensive too.
It's gonna be a good Super Bowl. We'll see who wins. Damn. Mm. Probably, probably. I mean, forget about cigars, right? Like, I'm promoting something I would like to be in a party with a family and friends,
Okay.
something like that,
So
promoting whatever product, but
promoting, family
whatever.
and friends,
Yeah,
just
like probably I would like to say that like family and friends, something like that, having a good time.
yeah, peace and harmony, having a good time,
Yeah,
just
like something like that. That's
nice.
probably the thing I would go for it.
Absolutely. Well, it's been a fun show, man. I appreciate you for coming on and tonight, and hopefully you had a good time as well.
Thank
And
you. Thank you for having me, Joe.
no problem, man. It's definitely a pleasure. I was glad to officially meet you in person because Jeff Gruber is about the only rep. Even if I'm off of work, he'll hit me up and be like, "Yo, I know you're gonna be off, but come through." Blah, blah. And if I can make it, I always make it. And yeah, that picture I thought was gonna go viral. A lot of people saw it, but it didn't go viral like I thought. And I had to keep pointing out you were in the background of that picture.
I was hiding there in the corner.
Yeah, that's what made the picture great. So
So
I'll have to
we'll
look
see you
for
both
it.
in a couple of weeks.
Okay, yeah, just let me know if it's on a Thursday, I'll come in on my day off. So if it's during the week, Mondays and Fridays, I'm there in the afternoon, and the rest of the time I'm an opener. So Thursdays and Sundays I'm off. So hey, but yeah, how can people get in touch with you on social media and everything? Is it HVC Cigars, right?
HVC Cigars, correct.
I seen a bunch of like HVC stuff, so I don't know which ones were official or if they're all official.
The HVC Cigars one, yeah, and HVC Cigar family as well.
Okay,
Mhm.
awesome. So yeah, well, thanks for coming on, and thank you everybody that was out there watching. We got a little bit slightly late start, and plus I didn't promote it as heavy, so a lot of people will catch this after the fact. So thank you guys for tuning in, and if this is your first time on this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you look for HVC Cigars in your local cigar lounge, and you guys have a great night, and I'll let you know when we're not live.